Hey guys, welcome back. And we're at my other workbench. Today I am going to attempt to build some bench work. And I think what I'm going to do is probably build a modular piece of bench work, the standard 2x4 section, because I just don't have the space for a full layout right now, and I'm not going to go into L girder and open grid and all that stuff. So we'll just make a simple box, stick some plywood on it, and make some detachable legs. Okay, so here's a rough sketch of my module, not to scale, but 4 feet, 2 feet, and then just two cross pieces here. So it's kind of like open grid, but and then I'm going to put in some little blocking in the corner here because I've got some pegs here, or bolts. Where are they? I have these bolts, which will screw into I don't even know what it's called. I don't know. It screws in. Insert nut screw in. Exciting. Anyways, so we've got this. So what I'm going to go do is I have to trim up the 1x4x4s to match the plywood, and then I'm also going to cut the 2-foot sections, and then I'm also going to cut out some like smaller pieces that the legs will actually bolt into, so there won't actually be any bolts from the outside, and we'll go from there. Remember when using your power tools to always wear your safety glasses and read the instructions for your power tools. A little how-to on this. Since I'm trying to align this piece to this piece, tighten this clamp on first, and then get this one pretty much rough, and then that'll allow this piece to move, so you can get it all lined up. So I'm just gonna grab a paper towel, a wet paper towel, and just clean up a little bit of this glue, and then I'm going to work on the other end. I'm going to take this corner clamp off. Alright, so all the corners are now complete. Yeah, they're not perfect, but they're not bad either. So the next step I'm going to do is to put the 2 middle pieces in, and then I'm going to line up the piece of plywood, and then we can also, I made these little blocks, and these are going to go in here, and this is what the legs will mount to. So they're just little 4-inch pieces. The other thing that I've made here, I've made these 3 pieces because I bought a sort of like a laminated piece. It's 16 by 4 by 1 inch thick, because I want to make a shelf, and it's going to be about 18 inches off the floor, but I actually measured down from the top of the leg, because obviously I didn't want to measure from the bottom because I wasn't 100% super accurate with the cuts. So anyways, I'm going to work on getting these blocks in place, and work on getting the middle cross braces done. So one thing I thought about doing, I don't know if it's going to be a big deal on this just because it's like a module, but one thing I had thought about doing was putting 3 1-inch holes in the center ones, so that way any wiring wouldn't hang down below, and like if I had to take the legs off and just rest it down on the ground, it would rest evenly. I can still do that now. I don't know if I need 3 on a regular layout. I would probably want as much space as possible, but yeah, maybe I'll just do 2, 1 here and 1 here, not knowing. I don't have any specific track plan I have for this. Holes are drilled. I did it in the center, 4 inches in from each side. So that should be pretty easy. So to make the legs removable, I mean, I could just use screws and disassemble it and just not glue the legs, but I decided to use a bolt. So I found these 1/4 inch bolts, and this little, oh, it's really difficult to see in this light, but let me see here. Come on, focus. Anywho, you can screw it in. It's got a little hex face, so you can screw it in. But basically, it's gotta be perfect, which is my only fear. It does thread onto this bolt, so my fear is if it's not super accurate, it's going to cross thread and it's not going to work well. So I guess one thing I could do is make the holes in the leg that this bolt goes through a smidge bigger than this, so there's a little bit of wiggle room, because I got some washers as well. I guess that's why we're here, huh? Learning. But yeah, so this will get mounted into this, and we'll do 2 of them per leg. The question I'm wondering is if I should like go one here and 1 here. Then I gotta go the long way through a 3-inch 2x4, or sorry, 1x3. And oh, it is a 2x3. Anyways, I think I'm just gonna do 2 like this. So I guess I don't really need the other piece, but it's there if I need it in the future, I guess. So I'm gonna attach these. However, the screws I was using here are 2-inch exterior screws, and they would go through this. So I do have a handful of sheetrock screws, and that's all I have. So those will have to work. Okay. I made a little template from a piece of scrap. So in theory, if I do this, clamp it, drill, then they'll all be consistent. The question is, do I get the legs in the right spot? So we shall see. Okay, I think I'm done for the night because I've just discovered a problem, at least with the solution I was going with. Bolt, leg, 1x4. It's too long. It should be about here, so it's about 1/2 inch too long. So my Lowe's store aisle math was off, plus I sat there and stared at the aisle forever trying to figure out what was the one that I needed. Anyways, I think we made pretty good progress on this, and I will continue to work.